Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I covered 6 viewer-submitted levels, so in this part I'll be covering at least 4 or 5 more viewer-submitted levels, starting out with this one, Frantic Factory Frenzy by the OfficialMemeGuy, with 6 plays and a score of 3. As always, if you want one of our levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LB series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check for levels covered, expand the description. So in this factory level, we'll be playing as base, and we'll be unlocking several new special weapons along the way. Okay, these kinds of jumps. Oh, I see, we need to dash through over here so we don't fall into the pit. Like what happened here. At least it's not a bottomless pit. In fact, this series has been relatively kind at the start. No bottomless pits or spikes yet. And we get a full life refill over here. Rather generous. More of these challenges I see. Oh, in the previous screen I actually gained access to the drill bomb. Probably should have used it there. And here the Gemini laser. So I guess after each section, at the start of the next section we'll unlock new special weapons. Each suited for the next section. Whoa, that was a close one there. I'm not sure how I died there. I'm not sure how I didn't die over there. Thank you for the full weapon refill over here. Also thank you for the checkpoint. Good checkpoint placement. Really, this feels more like a fortress level. One on the more positive end. But remember, all these challenges are doable with the base buster only, although some of them are harder than others. Like, the previous one was doable with the base buster, but it'd take a lot longer, as opposed to using the hyper bomb that we just got. Well, I guess I'll be backtracking back over here. Another good checkpoint placement. Oh goody, these sorts of jumps now. I was expecting to get clipped onto the left spike, but apparently not. I was lucky. And now we gain access to the atomic fire. You know, considering all the other special weapons I got throughout the stage, the atomic fire isn't really necessary, it's more of a redundant weapon. But hey, I won't complain. I'm comparing this to the drill bomb, of course. And just get past that Pikmin over there, and I suppose we're at the end of the stage. Overall, a pretty decent to almost good for the stage. 7 out of 10. The execution could be done a bit better with each of the special weapons and some of the challenges, but it works. Checkpoint placement and challenge escalation were nice. And I presume Metal Man's weakness is the atomic fire. No, it isn't. It's Hyper Bomb, good. Overall, I expected this stage to have a lot more deaths, but I didn't end up dying anywhere. I only failed at 1 or 2 places. Yet I just fell into an earlier point in the stage, not falling to a bottomless pit. The challenge progression of the stage is more on the kind side, I'd say. Overall, a pretty decent level. Good work, OfficialMemeGuy. Second level on the lineup is Sewerman by SolidSnake 1117, with 10 plays and a score of 1. I presume this will be a traditional level, but I've been wrong several times before based off the title, so I'm not sure, especially in terms of traditional levels. Toadman's the boss, and we only have access to the Mega Man 4 Mega Buster, as well as sliding. So this is going to be either a challenge level or a traditional level. I'm banking on the latter. We started out at the top of the facility, and now we're in this facility's sewers, I guess. Really liking the background and foreground tile set combination. It looks nice. They complement each other well. Good checkpoint placement. Placed around 7 or 10 screens from the start of the stage. And the stage difficulty isn't that bad, although the introduction of gimmicks could be done a bit better. Maybe introduce them more in isolation before putting them in more dangerous environments, referring specifically to the coil platforms. It's kind of already assumed by the stage that you understand how they work, because they're initially placed over spikes, and they're combined with spines rather quickly. I see these Dockrons are being used as replacement crystal droppers. And that was just an epic screw-up on my part. Well, I was half expecting it to go to the right, but not go directly down, and that's what led to my death. Let's try this section for the third time, shall we? And I end up dying again, wonderful. Yeah, the placement of that proton could be a bit surprising. If you immediately jump for it and you jump too high, you'll get knocked into the pit, or as I did, I undershoot it and fell into the pit there. You're either supposed to do a tap jump there, or just stand on that spinning top for a while so you can destroy or lure that proton first, but even then you have a limited duration of time to do that. So I can squeeze in between them. Good. Suddenly the stage has become more difficult than it was before. It feels like a difficulty spike. Hopefully there's a checkpoint nearby. Thank you for the large life energy capsule over here, really appreciate it, especially considering the previous segment's crushers. Could we have a checkpoint nearby, please? I mean, considering the difficulty of the previous segment, a good checkpoint placement would be right after the crushers. Well, I guess the last checkpoint is just before the boss arena, just like a traditional Mega Man level, but still, I'd probably put one checkpoint just after the Crusher segment. In fact, following the Crusher segment, the stage suddenly got a lot harder, and then, just after it was done, it became a lot easier, or notably easier. You may want to smooth that around, or put this final segment before the Crusher segment, but that's just me. So time to fight Toadman. Easy peasy. As long as he decides to do his rain dance repeatedly over there and I keep stopping it. And so that was the end of Sewer Man. The level preceding it was much more difficult than the boss fight. If this was Bubble Man, this arena would be more difficult to face him in. I'll give it a thumbs up, but you may want to smooth out the difficulty curve a bit, and add one more checkpoint in. I'd say it's a 5.5 or 6 out of 10. I would have preferred if I had a rush utility like the Rush Jet or Rush Coil, but make them optional. Or put an E or M tank somewhere in the stage. There are several locations where you could perfectly put it there. Third level on the lineup is Mega Man's Background Swap Adventure by YouTube Social HD2, with 87 plays and a score of 19. So it's going to be another one of those simple weapon relay levels, where one weapon is dedicated for each screen. For this first room, it's a Mega Buster. And this room is the Oil Slider. so on and so forth. I didn't realize that the upper part of the stage was actually solid terrain. I thought it was part of the background there. My bad. I know you're supposed to use the time slow over here, but you can slowly go through the segment already, and you can go through it faster by just tap jumping. The time slow will most likely be better in later parts of this stage though. Next up is the Firestorm, also good checkpoint placement. Next up is a Needle Cannon. And here we face Top Man. Never mind, his weakness is actually the Crash Bomb. I thought it'd be the Plant Barrier considering we had no segment dedicated to it. It's just like the other background swap adventures / weapon relay stages by the same author. They're neat little levels, but honestly, I'd like to see more meat put into each section. Like have one section dedicated to each special weapon. Otherwise it feels kind of forgettable. Fourth level on the lineup is Passeio No Parque by Kaz R, with 17 plays and a score of -1. Due to the difficulty of this level, I'll be mostly silent throughout the stage, giving my final thoughts during the boss fight. Overall, this was an okay Charge Kick challenge level, although there were two things that brought this stage down for me. The first one being the inconsistent difficulty curve. The beginning of the stage, as well as 1.75 into the stage, were much harder than the rest of the stage. I died the most in the stage trying to squeeze in those series of intro spikes. During the rest of the stage, I didn't die as much. My second grievance of the stage is the boss fight going on in the background. It gets boring and repetitive pretty quickly. If Bomb Man took 14 hits, I'd be fine, but having to dodge all those attacks, being really careful of not getting retaliated against, it gets old pretty quickly, and that really makes the stage ending quite dull. Rather unfortunate. The checkpoint placement was fine, and I did like some of the challenges, though I'd only recommend this stage to intermediate to somewhat advanced Mega Man Maker players. Fifth level on the lineup is SCWN-015 Cameos Man by Jedox74, with 5 plays and a score of -1. This stage took over 45 seconds to load, but you won't see most of it because I'll cut it out. But that means this stage will be one of the longer ones, and thus this will be the final level I'll cover in this part, if it goes over 100 screens like I'm anticipating it to be. And we start out with the Firestorm, as well as the Mega Buster. And I believe that was a tank over there. I could play as Proto Man, but I want to double check something. Or I could play as Bass. I already played as Bass once in this part, and most of the other stages as Mega Man, so I'll play the rest of the stage as Proto Man then. After I'll gain a whole arsenal of special weapons throughout the level, and I can use those to supplement Proto Man's lower shot limit on screen. Are we going to get new special weapons at the start of every other section? Or every new section? That seems to be the case. Okay, the water wave over here was kind of a freebie, if you were to ask me. All of this is doable Buster only, but it's much faster to use special weapons. We're in a new section, so we gain access to the Atomic Fire. Might as well use special weapons because they're one of the best parts of Mega Man. I'm really thankful that Proto Man doesn't take double damage here, otherwise I would have been dead already. And now we gain access to 2 new special weapons here, those being the Power Stone and Leaf Shield. Normally I'd separate it out into different sections based off of the trend the stage is already set out, but okay then. And now the Elect Beam. I just noticed this. The special weapon we get at the start of each new section matches that section's team. Like the Elect Beam with this electric oriented section, and the Power Stone and the Leaf Shield for the wooded section. Toss Spin and Skull Barrier. And a free M-Tank. This stage has a whole bunch of E&M tanks that are pretty easy to get. I wonder why this stage is called Cameos, man, though. I guess this stage takes the tropes, or rather some of the level design from previous Mega Man stages, or rather the level teams specifically, like the forest, the electrical facility, Heatman stage, etc, etc. It may be just me, but does this stage take place in a movie facility? One that's recreating Mega Man's adventures? It may be just a hunch based off the title. Thank you for your generosity, but most of those life energies will be wasted. And this is a blank, emptyless room for some reason. I wonder if this is a reference to something, or was put here as an Easter egg, or Jethawk forgot to put something there. Probably Jethawk will be able to explain that left room in the comments. Overall, this was kind of a meh to weird stage. I would have preferred if more was done with each of the special weapon sections, but I guess it works. Suddenly near the end we got 2 special weapons at a time, as opposed to 1 at a time per each section. So you have exactly enough special weapon energy in order to go through the segment, unless you use an M-Tank there. And last but not least, the Protojet segment. Yeah, it is definitely the last one. I have no more special weapon slots. Adding to the strangeness of this stage is the fact the difficulty curve of the stage feels kind of flat. Except maybe this point of the stage, but most of the stage have a relatively flat difficulty curve. It doesn't feel like it's getting more and more difficult. Here it certainly is, but before it wasn't. Thank you for the full refill, and we're at the end of the level. I'd probably give this stage a 5 out of 10. It just felt rather strange and somewhat unfocused. And I see the M and L signs up there. Mario and Luigi, I guess? Is this Bowser's head? So a few more cameos over there. A whole series of hallways and boss shutters. Adding to the strangeness of the stage. But as I just said, they're probably references to other media or other Mega Man games and levels. Thank you for putting a checkpoint just after this series of hallways so we don't need to repeat it if we die against the boss. And there's a hole in the floor over there for Crash Man to fall into. Or we could fall all the way down here. Sure, let's do that. And that's the bottom floor. So that was the end of Cameos, man. I have nothing more to say about the stage other than all the comments I made already. It was a mess stage, so I won't give it a thumbs up. And I've already gone far enough for this part, so I think I'll end it off over here. So overall, out of the 5 levels I played in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Frantic Factory Frenzy by the OfficialMemeGuy. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewers-made levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!